A Tax Critic Guide. Chapter 1. A Tax Dodger Guide. Tax Critic Guide. If you listen to shortwave radio and peruse alternative type, right-wing websites on the internet as well as extreme left and right-wing, anarchist ones, you will know that they're all united by one thing. They don't like the government. They think it has too much control over our lives. We are not free. They squander our money hand over fist. They have betrayed the people by collecting taxes every way they can, including hidden taxes like in gasoline, then taking this money and using it both for their own greed and on useless projects or projects that might go against your moral standards, such as using tax money to kill unborn babies, to promote the GLBTQ lifestyle, or to give unworthy people free money. I've read several of these diatribes. Some people are very passionate about paying taxes for a dysfunctional dystopian society. I won't replicate them here except to say go to the websites I list and find more by typing the following terms into search engines. Income tax, legal challenge. Income tax, illegal law. Income tax, resist. Income tax, freedom from. Income tax, critics. Income tax, fight. Income tax, unconstitutional. Income tax, conspiracy. Income tax, unjust, unfair. Income tax, wrong. The creation of the United States started when the colonists refused to pay the British taxes. According to the Internal Revenue Code, some people say that paying income taxes is supposedly a voluntary act, so because the government doesn't send you a specific bill, you have to create your own bill by filing an income tax return. Stop filing even though this is technically illegal. Many right-wingers out there say we answer to God only, not governments. This is in the Constitution. They say the government exists to serve the people, and by the U.S. Constitution, this power is limited to prevent power from corrupting the politicians, Article 1, Section 2, Clauses 2 to 4. By Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1 of the U.S. Constitution, the government was empowered to collect indirect taxes only, in the form of duties, imposts, and excises. There was a direct tax imposed in an emergency which was to pay for the Civil War, but after this, it was abolished. These right-wing types bring up all these historic arguments and I sympathize with them, but I can't get over what happened to one vocal tax protester who went around promoting her book about the unconstitutionality of federal income tax. They arrested her, took all of her assets out of her home, and that was the end of that story. Several other tax protesters have been destroyed by the government. All their arguments may be factually and legally correct, but you can't fight an all-powerful system that pretty well does what it wants, where most of the citizenry is ignorant or apathetic and or are worried about rocking the boat lest the feds come after them. This is the way it really works. They steamroll anyone who loudly proclaims that income taxes are illegal, even if their arguments are sound. If you work for someone else, write down exempt for some reason on your W-4 so they don't take money out of your pay at work. If the IRS wants to take the time to prove you're not exempt, let them figure it out. Until then, claim the exemption. The Fifth Amendment protects you from being a witness against yourself. The tax form 1040 can be used against you, so you're not required to file such a form. In the IRS code, income is defined as corporate profit. Wages are never mentioned. The IRS laws are based on the 16th Amendment, but it was never ratified. It was stricken down in the vote, 64-4. Fear and ignorance of the facts is what keeps most Americans paying federal income taxes, because in the Declaration of Independence, servitude to England was ended and everyone declared an individual sovereign. Our rights come from God, not man or government. The government was created as a servant of the people. The U.S. Constitution is supposed to be the supreme law of the nation. By the USC, the government can levy two types of taxes to run itself. By Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 3, and Article 1, Section 9, Paragraph 4, they can't tax people directly. According to Article 1, Section 8, Paragraph 1, the government can impose indirect taxes through duties, imposts, taxes on imports, and excises on manufactured goods not tax people directly. Congress passed an income tax law in 1894, which the Supreme Court ruled unconstitutional. Indiana 1895, Supreme Court decision in Pollock v. Farmers Loan and Trust Co., United States Reports, Volume 157, page 492. In 1909, the 16th Amendment, the Income Tax Amendment, was passed, but the Supreme Court, which defines the Constitution, said in 1916, that the amendment didn't change Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 3, Brushaber v. Union Pacific RR, United States Reports, Volume 240, page 16. In essence, the classification of income tax to an excise tax is illegal and violates the people's protections under the U.S.C. Flint v. Stone Tracy Co., Volume 220, page 110 of the United States Reports. The jargon gets technical, but the bottom line is that the income tax is an indirect excise tax. There's nothing in the IRS code that says an individual is liable to this indirect excise tax unless they volunteer to. Filing an income tax return is an invasion of privacy according to the Fifth Amendment. The IRS uses harassment and illegal measures to collect taxes, which goes against what the country is supposed to stand for. Although this method has worked for some, in all fairness, these critics have said that some people got in trouble this way. The easiest way to avoid taxes is to do a cash-only business and never file taxes, then they don't know you exist and can't hassle you. You can open a business in any town, get a local business license, maybe pay sales tax on a state level, but if you never file with the IRS, nobody knows what you're up to. It's your risk because there's always a chance you might get caught. If you're doing it, don't tell anybody because they will rat you out if you cross them in any way at all. People who belong to certain religious groups use it as conscientious objectors to accepting these benefits covered in 1402, G. 1, or 3127 of the IRS Code. If you're in the system and want out, get the 1040 booklet and file as deceased, then you work for yourself without filing. Work two jobs. File for one but not for the other. Use tax havens like the Caribbean, open a bank account in Canada, or leave the country as an expatriate. There are several anti-tax organizations. Find them in right-wing patriotic publications, websites, or radio stations. If you are one of these organizations or know of any, send me the address so I can put it in the next edition of this book. Legal Tax Avoidance 1. Get your money out of your country before your country gets it out of you. In a nutshell, the way to avoid taxes legally is to leave your high-tax country, United States, Canada, Britain, Sweden, etc., to take up legal residence elsewhere and or move all of your assets out of your home country into accounts in other countries, which are very easy to set up. Rent rather than own real estate because the IRS or the courts can seize them on a whim.